There we are. Counter-Strike it is again. And that Counter-Strike is going to look lovely because it is Pixel versus SinnerS who come down to that decision. Who will actually make it just out of that phase? And, who will make it into the lovely Bucharest finals is the question we gotta ask ourselves today, because whoever wins this best of three is directly qualified for the offline session, and that is going to be one Southeast European clash we're going to see there. And I don't know how you feel about it, but it's going to be very exciting. It's just going to come down to teams, how they will perform in the end. Offline is something different than online as usual, and as you know. But that brings us down to what we can talk about in the beginning of this game. How it will actually be at that point in time regarding the lovely schedule, or not like really the schedule, more likely how it went. So ClickTech got easily taken down by B-Pro. They will play against Without Warning another time, and SinnerS took down Game Agents, which is quite surprising, as Game Agents is one of the teams you could call something out of that East European, Southeast European scene that might make a breakthrough internationally. And Squared lost against Pixel. Both of those teams able to get themselves further and further in this league, and that now brings us down to Aaron getting a nice one there first onto Ryder. A few more have to hit, but nope, not going to connect any further. Devil is the only one to secure himself that B-side together with the teammates. Shot missed. Sees a little bit of the body off Zero, but that USPS has limited ammo. You should not waste it on just trying to pre-fire. And there comes a Shadow Strike from the right and from the left. It's Devil who's caught up into the situation where Bandito cannot help, gets even dinged on long range, so it's coming down to only one player with a bit of HP, and he's whipping the shots left-right, but it works in the end. Shadow can get the first in 19 HP onto Devil, making it not so easy target to hit. And so it's coming just into the situation where the bomb is going to be planted. 3 kills you already got, just one more to get the collection done. It's a headshot. And Shadow Strike strikes with that important frag. So it's going to be just the pistols now onto Pixel. What a coincidence with the name.
Ein höflicher Penis steht auf, damit Frau sich setzen kann.
Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. There you go. Something wrong with the setup. Not quite sure what happened here. That is unusual. But anyway, as we're seeing, there comes SinnerS. Oh, nicely done by Aaron. That's the only thing he's going to get in this one. And there they fall. That took a little, but in the end, there it worked. And you know, the problem is, which I don't 100% understand, is that my private donation sound, which I have on my private channel, is also coming in here. No, I turn it off. I mean, this is the weird part. So give me a single second, please. No? Okay. Not quite sure why it still sticks. Weird. Extremely weird. Anyway. In ourselves now. Situation where only the pistols are counting for Pixel. Can't really do much. Aaron is the only one to make strike, and he does that onto the one. Gun can get picked up by Bandito, and he does so. Played at Bulgaria, actually, just a bit ago. One of the few known Hungarian esports organizations. There comes Kunka getting one down. Second one to get as well, and so it's going to be Devil and BZT. Just falling short in that situation. It's going to be only down to that what they have, the pistol as well as that UMP. And it's nearly impossible to deal anything with that. Keep that little submachine gun alive for the next round, because it can be so goddamn lethal in close range duels. And we see already one disconnected from SinnerS, probably some kind of problem with the internet. That makes us just say, okay, we'll break, it's fine. We're cool with that. Ouch. There in the end he finds himself another frag. Bonito down, not the UMP safe. Could have just stayed there in the corner, but nope, got denied. And there we have a break. Yeah, and that gives us the opportunity to actually talk a little bit about the game, and logically your questions are always very welcome in the chat. As we have those breaks, we can talk about whenever your soul wishes. And talking about SinnerS, the team doesn't really have even a proper HLTV profile. The One as well as Ryder are known. The One played a while for Nexus, and same goes for the One. Both of them one of the best organizations in Southeast Europe, no doubt about that. You can still see, though, that even a real Nexus lineup is still a little bit struggling to get themselves further throughout the entire scene. They're trying internationally to do their best. Doesn't 100% work all the time. There comes the first track. Good control that has been gathered. Pixel on the first one. There's one guy behind that smoke. Nice try by Shadow. He sees the shots are just leaving decals to left and right of him. He keeps his eyes very peeled. Another smoke going to pop. Don't plant that bomb when it's not secure to do so. They know there's a Bonito. And they also know there's a Devil just around the corner. Now Devil peeks wide. Sees nobody though. As Bonito finds one onto Kunkka. And there they come first. This is the first one to strike. Plummet also gets taken down by 0. So it's only down to 2 players. Which brings it down to 1. Bonito is the only Hungarian on the battlefield who gets taken down in the end. That's just painful to watch. I mean, SinnerS, this is not even their map pick. 4-0 streak in the beginning. You know, there's a lot of things Pixel can still come up with, right? This is not like a Roland Emmerich film where the world suddenly goes down for Pixel. It's just an unfortunate situation. Just say it like that. Devil on the ZZ, one of the most lethal pistols. It's kind of like an AK, you might call it. I had some Game of Thrones reference for it, but I forgot. But this is the perfect time to strike. There, the one sprays a lot, just stops his spray for a second. Might thought that could be a reload, but where did the gun go? Ah, there it is. Devil got him. Got his skills of being a detective. Dreadlock Devil Holmes put his magnifier on the floor. Just take a look. Okay, maybe here, maybe there. Can I find it? Yeah, but first of all, it's Kunkka finding him. With that AK, 5-0, SinnerS are taking the lead, and not just in a very comfortable fashion for Pixel, as it's finally time for them to finally say a lot of finally. God damn it, languages sometimes, you know. But speaking of so, the language the Romanians speak are just pure death and lethal playstyle. That's what they do best right here. Control already taken by Shadow in the middle. Not quite sure once he spots the barrel of BZT. That should be the end of him. Smoke pops perfectly in there. BZT gets found. And for HP, nice one. Looked like it could have been directly on 0, but Concrete held it off for just a little. It's about the coordination of all the teammates of SinnerS to get the right call done. There comes the flashbang. Not going to affect anyone. And free players are just waiting to come through. There's the first one from the one. That opens it up. BZT rotates back, and there's a Plummet without a slight bit of a chance standing there on site. SinnerS does it right. Kunkka makes the first move. Kunkka makes the second. Kunkka, come on, do the third. There he does. 3 headshots, 3 kills, and that brings Pixel down to nothing, shrugging there with the shoulders and asking himself, what the hell just happened here? That's a really good question, what really happened here. They're splitting up the site by creating that pressure on going over connector, which makes it like in this kind of angle. So CT can only look in this direction there, but 3 players are coming from here. So you have to move around here, which makes it problematic from there. Makes a lot of sense, right? Counter-Strike is not really a game for chess players, because I played checkers my entire life. If that makes any kind of sense. But getting to it though, Plummet sitting very close. Yeah, there. Oh, nice headshot, Sparrow. It's actually Zero, and he gets himself that AK as the no-scope from the scout hits. It has to be now time to not lose that control. That was tight here for Shadow Strike, as nearly that 5-7 got him taken out. And for the close-range body shots, doesn't even matter what, or headshots. Not necessary at all, and so it's going to be just one more. Gotta correct myself. One more onto the side of Pixel, giving the 7th round away to SinnerS, except Devil comes up with some Devil Plate. Straight out of hell. Those shots gotta hit like fire missiles, but imagining that is kind of hard. Ryder's an easy target. One shot on the body, he's dead. He doesn't even accomplish that. Nope, that would have been nicely done, but when we take a look at that goddamn economy of SinnerS, it's just massive. 3 players are above 10k. You don't casually get that kind of bank account done. And brings us to a double op setup. This is very often in pro matches, the key changer. To end the streak of any kind of opponent, the one already checks what's happening at the B side is comparatively open. As we see, the rotation of any of the players will take a certain amount of time. Aero now finally assisting his teammate Devil. Smoke is going to pop. And so the one baits out utility from the opponent. Already has pretty much nothing on board when it comes down to nades. Doesn't really force a shift onto them. That is a nice strike from Shadow. Love how you can play around with that name. Shadow Strike. Strike that shadows. I don't know. It's just very basic, but he locks in the right direction. But it keeps his eyes peeled for Ryder to come just through, and there's a position change coming in, very important one. But back onto the side, and he gets a double. That is so crucial. And BZT has to be taken down, but nope, that's the denial onto it. The bomb gets also taken down. That's a 4 versus 1. Double op setup seems to change it up. If we imagine there would be only a single one, that would have not ended like this. But now they got 3, switching it to the AK Aaron. And so we got a double op setup, finally. It looked like Pixel would have a massive, tough pill to swallow. But in this case, that first one is crucial. But when we talk about just Counter-Strike 101, the big problem right here is if we imagine that Pixel is losing this round, their economy is far away from golden. Losing this is economically reset. That hurts even more. But not only your morale, because you feel like, oh, we won one round and you cannot really get continuously onto the next one. It also has the problem that your economy says, nuh-uh, not into that. Not into that at all. SinnerS getting a massive grenade right now in front of his feet. That hurts. Kunkka down to 34. So it's going to be just a few Romanians there on a really badly scattered and badly fortified A site. A good bunch of players are awaiting it, but the ops in close range are not that kind of tool you want to have. Petito down to just 12, has to rotate it. Suddenly we have 2 players. They're in the jungle, now moving over, and this is the 55-second call to the other bomb site. Evacuate middle, screw this. We're splitting up and making our move on to B. Destination has been set. Devil gotta find those early information. Jumps around left and right. Has the flashbang in hand, so hold him off just a little bit more. There it comes. There's the stepmate. Now it's time to strike, and now it's Aaron finding those frags. There's the first one to come. Second one just about to come. Nope, not happening, and so it will be Devil. They're on the site, and Zero whiffing the shots. Opponent not even looking in your direction, and suddenly you're not even hitting those. That's unfortunate, and that's more than sad, actually, when SinnerS could have just shut down the economic growth of Pixel. Actually, studying macroeconomics recently, it's very interesting to see, because we could go like we have our aggregate demand. So, for example, Pixel have a very low long-range aggregate supply, so it's around here. This is inflation, and this is growth. We're just shorting it with G, though it's other calculation usually. And if we imagine that, the inflation is quite high as they use a lot of resources, but the long-range aggregate demand right now is very low because they're barely growing. So their curve with high inflation, let's say it's around 10%, goes up somewhere like this. And that's a long-range aggregate supply. That's a short. Okay, I'm stopping with that. But god damn it, it's lovely to see macroeconomics. 3 players from SinnerS. Not big of a chance to actually make anything happen. The grenade pops just in the wrong direction. Nearly could have worked a few seconds earlier, but he has been spotted. His shots are not always spot on. It's got to be Zero to find free. There's another op whiffing, and Zero gets one more as well. Use a double op setup to just whiff shots. That's not what you want. He got 3 frags already. He's aiming for that ace. He barely can afford it economically. There's a Devil to the left. He has been spotted. Aaron to be taken down. 4 frag he already got it. It's Devil to find, but no. It's going to be Zero who falls in the end. The Romanian warrior who just needs to find himself one more to get that ace. And probably he's just sitting in front of his computer thinking, God damn it. The last one, the easiest one, as he would have just need to tap his head away. But maybe nervosity. That got him in the end. There. Finds a nice double. Triple. Plummet assisting here with that. And suddenly, the 1 and 0 are shutting down every kind of play we have seen from the site of Pixel. Now they need to find each other wrong direction looking. This is very unfortunate for the 1 in the end. And so, 4-7. We had a 7-0 scoreline. It's time for SinnerS to finally strike. This is the Pixel pick, by the way. The Hungarians have decided to choose this certain map. And the way SinnerS started up their engine, that was lovely to see. There comes a grenade, that hurts a lot. At least the 1 in Ryder, but the pistols, they might strike here in that situation, but Bench is too lethal. That's an open site suddenly. 3 versus 3, the smoke pops perfectly. And it's just about getting the bomb over, but Ryder is in a horrible position to actually make it possible. Smoke finally pops, but the short players are coming. It's BZT. Falls there in the end. Plummet with a single point of health. A shadow strike that might hit the right timing, and he does. 0 bullets in the magazine, reloading quickly. Plummet is an easy one. Good that he got the AWP. And finally they find it. 8th round. The half is now secured for SinnerS. While Pixel has once more to take a look deep down in their wallet team. We pretty much have nothing left in there. Just a few coins and flies flying out of that Louis Vuitton wallet. And in the end, pistols and Devil with the M4. Keeping as an anchor, somewhere as a turret. Maybe behind Bench to just spot out and take long range duels. No need to let him do such a positioning, and there he goes. 0 goes for the right shot, goes for the left shot, but not quite sure where to aim. This is the situation where you don't want to be caught up. But in the end, they only lose 1. Sinner with a double Devil as well as Pedito now need to show what they can do with the economy. They were just forced in. Devil forces himself a little bit forward. Nice shot. He reads it properly. Gets Kionka down. That deal from Pedito. There's a single body shot onto 0 he needs to do. And there's a bomb in his hands. Grab that AK quickly. And the situation turns. 4 versus 2 it was. Devil rising from the inferno towards short. Getting a player from SinnerS down. Only down to 1. Pedito gets it, and 13 HP he has to deal with. Has the AWP in hand. And Ryder is fast enough. He could even go over CT if he would like to, but safe plant and safe positioning is what he needs. Pedito has no kit. Steps have been made. Goes up the ladder. Not quite sure how much he's expecting that. Over the right side, but now position has been known! And this is so unnecessary, but he peeks around the corner. He pre-fires for no apparent reason. Gives his position away, and the Deagle is a one-shot when you have 26 HP in the close range. How unnecessary this has been played. And Pixel are picking the round where they just had not much on board besides pistols, armor, and a Devil with an M4 who played it wisely. Got that one frag onto Connector who could have been just a rotating player who messed this all up for Pixel. And then Bodito in the close range, give him a Deagle, give him the AWP. He doesn't even need that. $4,750? What is that gun for? Is that even necessary to play with? And in the end, there it comes. At 4 versus 4, 60 more seconds left on the clock. The bomb far away, and SinnerS. This is so unfortunate to watch. They were up 7-0, and a 7-0 is usually already in your back if you keep on concentrating and keep up your focus on the game, but at one point it seems like they started to struggle. And that struggle, that turned into waffling. Far away from the active target. There's this Ryder getting a one tap onto Benito, looking in the wrong direction. And 4 versus 2 turns into a 3 versus 2. Devil is on his own. There he goes with 1. And not much utility. No smoke they can actually put down onto Connector. Grenade doesn't inflict a single bit of damage onto Devil. He's going to push through, though he has only $400. And the next round will be economically a pain. Pixel sneaks up onto it. Oh, this one to find. Zero has to be the last one, and he makes it. 9-5 it will be. Double digits are very highly possible right here. With the economy of Pixel being down to just pistols, they gotta put up a fight. They gotta put up some resistance there, and with the 50 cal pistol, they did that so far. They're able to continue it. And there comes usual aggression from the 1. Not just a grenade. I think it's a girlfriend's calls. But Devil plays it tight. They're just a bit of concrete away from each other. There comes a knock-knock. How are you doing? Oh, the 1. You're dead. Thanks for the AK. And Devil and Plummet could still do this, especially as Plummet's position doesn't seem to be known. If he picks the right timing, he might hit one of the players off guard. The problem, if he gets Ryder, there's still a Kunkka to strike who has a perfect angle onto Devil, so he should think twice if he wants to do so. Avoiding death is avoiding going through that gate. But Staffs has been hurt. Plummet gets the call, but there's an AK being fallen down. Plummet now could just maybe try to find something here. There's a body shot away, but not much more to do. 5-10 it is. And so they go into a round where SinnerS, with just a pistol win, could get themselves that map. No doubt about that, actually. If they really can conquer it, should be good to go. And perfect timing to look at the scoreboard. Benito up 16-11. Well, the 1 we have seen a lot. It felt like he was doing a lot of work, but in the end, he was just down to 6-12. 0.5 KDR, far away from favorable. And now it comes down to that A-style play. Kunkka takes a very aggressive approach. Sees himself as probably the winner of any of those duels, but the question really is, does that make it work for him? Kunkka could have just now the opportunity to peek wide when no one is looking. There he sees 1, but nope, he doesn't make it work. A little bit over-aggressive, a little bit too overconfident, and Shadow does not go with any kind of accuracy on that. Ryder taken down to 10. Shots have to hit, not making it work. 3 versus just 4. But suddenly it goes again. The grenades are starting to hit. The side is getting open, but all of those are just body shots. Where's the Romanian accuracy? Plummet to 34, Devil to 77. Flashbang, which is just a decoy. Oof, and that was a nice one from Devil. The 1 has 100 points of health. He has no struggle. There's one body shot onto one of the opponents, and then he got that one. That'll make it work. Has to reload, hides himself perfectly, but it's Devil. Oh boy. How is any of this just possible? 6-10. The pistol round, they could have changed it for SinnerS and pretty much sealed the deal. Closed that case, said, okay, thank you very much. We put Mirage in our back, we just leave for home. Mama made lunch. But, you gotta wait. This is not over. So we go, just a pistol on SinnerS. Not much more to play with. 0, dying, Shadow. Trying his best with the pistol. The damage they even inflicted onto them. More than enough. Devil with a shot through that smoke. Getting at least one. 7-10. SinnerS ecoing right here is the best option at all. And now I'm just waiting it out. Because that is the kind of moment where you have to see them making anything possible. Those the only deagle there onto the wall. Unnecessary. Giving it a wait. And that will be just that mech 10 at least being secured. But that's very unfortunate because, you know, Shadow tries to get at least one down, says, oh man, I took one. Nice. Maybe he has an AK, but in the end you're just getting punished with that mech 10. Not the best thing you want to retrieve. Goes for that shot, not making it work. 2 more alive, 0 and Ryder. Shot though in the end. Oh god. This is a little bit of a slaughtering right here from Pixel at that point in time. There it goes. There they strike. BZT finds the last one. 0 getting taken down. 10-8. This is the round where it matters. And it matters so goddamn much. And for all the Romanians, I give a shout out to logically our boy Verdi, who's alive again. So if you are, you know, a Romanian, I can imagine Verdi's back alive. But in the end, that 4 versus 5 Pixel. Not favorable at all, though. They're scattered around the map, have not gained much control. Bonito goes slowly through the apartments. Sees if anyone could run into his crosshair there. Every single angle being checked precisely, nearly clinical. Like a doctor. Everything's alright, and what a shot there onto 0. This is what you actually just work for. Silently sneaking through until you know every single angle of that goddamn B-side. Another one running in, Bonito playing it perfectly right here. Getting himself a double and opening up that B-side where rotation now has to be made to 1. Here's it. Bonito nearly hitting that shot. Not quite sure what held him off from that. It seems like SinnerS thinks twice if they should really go for this. It's not 100% confidence we see in their retake. That's probably actually the best decision to not go for this, because the retake will be so tough if you're not finding an entry any kind of soon. You're out of this. Bonito taking down the off Shadow as well as his teammate. They just need to leave. Ryder, get out of there. Right, got them now. This was very unfortunate, because the problem is the B site is way less open, of course. I mean, Counter-Strike, people who play it very often know that, but This is a very tight angle. Forget about this. That's a very narrow, long way. Apartments you can make it work with, but no one had the option to go through. And the CTs then just got stuck here. Because there's one in that corner, maybe here, one here, one here. No utility in the kit onto SinnerS. That brought it down to losing such a round. That's just kind of unfortunate to see at that point in time. Oh, god damn it. Sometimes your own PC scams you. You know that feeling? You know that when you have actually, I don't know, opened up one program, but it opens another? I don't know. Maybe I'm alone with this. Probably I am. But anyway, SinnerS getting taken on one after another. Ryder is the only one who grabbed himself an AK. Might just find himself a double. Yes, he makes it work. Needs to flick around. Gets another third, but not the fourth. Would have been too beautiful. Good bunch of damage he has dealt there onto Pixel. But they don't really care. With 11k on the bank, it doesn't change the outcome of their buy at all. And so, with that being said, tie it is. And we gotta repeat, it was just a casual 7-0 lead for SinnerS. And it's very possible that they got a little bit too overconfident. There comes finally the first of the strikes. Gets himself just that first entry. The one already dead, but the 3 versus 3 can make it still work for SinnerS. Because at the end, as a CT, you gotta make it work out with your passive and defensive positions. While Ryder, he's standing out in the open. One moment where he's not cautious enough, he might get caught off guard. Ryder going close now onto Underwood. Hoping to find anyone. Just making the wrong kind of move while we see that. That gets hit. Ryder jumps for no apparent reason, switches to AK, and he just runs in. This is so unnecessary. It seems like those guys from SinnerS, they don't really know how to play CT, and I cannot explain myself why. He has no kit. He has no bit of utility, and he just steps because time is not his friend in that situation. Bonito's an easy target, 44 HP. Oh, and that is the wrong kind of approach. Take a look, though. Bonito peeks out wide. There he gets the headshot. 0 taken down. And Pixel finally take the lead. After it was just SinnerS demolishing Pixel in the beginning. Shutting them down step by step. It is Pixel coming up with something. The Hungarians are happy. Especially as, once more, the blue, yellow, and red can't properly buy. No one is someone on the CT side who's not really good in holding those apartments on B. That was a tiny gap in the smoke. Not quite sure if anyone saw him there. Now they're trying to make it work. Denial, the headshot onto Aaron though, putting him down to 7 HP. And let's see how Shadow can reel this. There's the first one. Beautifully got that one onto Plummet. Another one. This is beautifully working out with Devil as well. And he wanted to go for a third, but not working out. This was just nice to watch. 2 headshots that you could use in any kind of frag movie. But in the end, that's not enough if we want to actually achieve something throughout the rounds. Aaron is an easy target with 7 HP. BZT and Bonito are the real opponents right here. Yeah, and it seems like it's not time to even lose those $700 pistols plus armor. It's not fair to lose as well. He doesn't even get the one with 7 HP. A single body shot could have ruled out that decision, but nope. Once more. This is really putting it to a reset. I'm 100%, I'm not quite sure how much SinnerS are actually a professional organization, to say it like that. But the real issue I see with them, to say it like this, is how much can this team actually come up with a professional mindset? You get 7-0 in the start on your opponent's map pick. This is awesome. This is super great and you love it. Then you get shut down step by step and cannot really make it work anymore. And then you gotta play another map again. Kind of is painful, but it's not over yet. Ryder tries to strike. Bonito is in the flames, but he doesn't even care. Gets taken down though in the end from the Inferno that has been placed. And those 4 men onto that A site are making it work. Strike. Finding Devil. The only thing those guys don't have is a smoke. That could have made it work perfectly to get the defuse done. But 2 versus 3 with just a BZT. It's not the situation you want to be in. He checks the flames. Oh, this is a very unfortunate angle. There's nothing coming through. SinnerS, it took so long. Let's take a look, actually. It took, in total, and that's just horrific, 7 rounds for them to get a defuse. To finally achieve a victory on any of those maps. As those rounds were just so difficult to handle for them. Time, you know, this is the point where you gotta try to make something work with the economy you have at hand right here. Because once more, quick look, not much left onto the CT site. And if the CT site here loses that certain round, this is not only the 13th for Pixel, and probably some kind of pain to the attitude and spirit of SinnerS, it will also bring their economy down to a minimum as it's an economic reset. Massive control Ryder has gained here though. As he knows, okay, no one is up there in Palace. Plummet going with his sneaky shoes. They're finding one after another. Pixel bringing it down to a man advantage situation. Ryder stays up into Palace, keeps himself hidden as long as he can. But with 4 Hungarians on the side, I cannot imagine that one is not looking up there, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Devil is not spotted. There's the first headshot. There's the second. There's the third to come, and he just puts them down one by one. Does not go for the last one, and this is an opportunity to ruin a round as well. A certain angle that needs to be checked. And they're making it possible. Incredible how Pixel are giving this round away to their opponents. From a 4 versus 3, with a bomb down, with every utility in hand. Sneaks around, comes and swings wide, says, okay, you know, you're the first, you're the second, you, by the way, are the third, and then he dies in the end while midair, but still. Not the way you want to have it. And so it is just going to be a 12-12. SinnerS, after losing 7 rounds consecutively, they're bringing up a fight because of one of their teammates having the perfect positioning in the end. And this is sometimes what can bring you to change in such a game. There comes Zero, getting taken down. The op from Bonito strikes at B-side. Getting a little bit more open. Seems like Pixel might just get themselves that control they need, and they don't fall for the same trick twice. This is what I can tell you, because once you lose a round in such a fashion, like we had just with Pixel, you don't want to repeat history. BZT on the other side finding that, and this is the perfect way to bait out the opponent. Ryder just shrugging his shoulders like, wait, they're not coming A. We just had some attacks here, and his teammates dying while moving over to the other sides, and that will just bring us down to SinnerS. In a horrible situation there. It's going to be Pixel 13-12. The only one with anything on board will be just Ryder, in case he doesn't die there. Plummet should be taken out in a second. A single point of health. And he finds it! Are you crazy, Plummet? He repeaks with a single point of health, says, screw you. I don't even want to deal with you anymore. And there he takes down the last rifle in the hands of the devastated Romanians. And now they're echoing this. Pixel getting up to the 14th with ease. At least it should be with ease. Except the Hungarians are into making major faults and mistakes. Shadow with one of the most beautiful USP skins, by the way. Especially when you take a look at the iron sights. That angry face from it. The red dots. The red triangles. I love it. The Shadow Strike. That's the Shadow Strike. Lead Conduit from Shadow Strike is one of the most beautiful USP assets. Very cheap as well. So, you know. If you want to have a cool skin collection, check that one out. But first we got to check out the approach from Pixel. They're taking a lot of time. They don't want to waste too much utility, basically. But this is just a minor economic thing. Take a look. SinnerS very scattered, but keeping a very stable A play. B, okay. You know, open side, a lot of movement possible. The one going from short to mid, and so on and so on. But there they come, and there they strike. BZT. They need to check out that there's one underneath. Yep, there it goes. It's incredible how they're finding frags. 2 USPSs are getting the kills onto the side, and you don't want to be ecoed! But this is the 3 versus 2 now, and the CTs, they got themselves a really good chance. At least they're hurting Pixel's economy quite massively. And there comes another grenade. Doesn't take down the one in this case. Devil's still down to 19. This is unbelievable. Pixel just surviving with 2 in a round where the opponent comes up with nothing else than just USPSs. In which world is that legitimate? Games like this drive you crazy. This is just the first out of 3 maps. And those first out of 3 maps. Next up, we're going to have a very interesting one. We're going to see Cash. SinnerS decided to play this. And the final one would be Cobblestone. It's just about getting that match point right here. Not game point yet, but gives you a good kind of fundamental basis to go for a 2 run. In the wrong direction. Doesn't change the outcome. Nade putting there onto the ladder room, but does not change it as well. Bodito finds Strider. There we got it. 0 is the last one left. He runs away. 15 to 12. That is a safe scoreline. We can already say that this will be the case. It's lovely to watch, to be very honest. Comes SinnerS. Yeah, there's pretty much nothing here to rescue except those 2 players actually can make it work. Punka as well as 0. They don't have much on board. They don't have a kit. They don't really have major amounts of utility, but Devil and Plumbing could be easy frags here. Especially the rotating Kunkka. might just make it work. Goes for the lurk. Only the eagle in hand. 7 shots he has in that magazine. Just 45 seconds. This could just work out for SinnerS. There's the bait. Kunkka peeks. What does he see? Just underneath. He knows that there's on wood. And he sees the crucial hat, but Bloman gets it beforehand! And Zero makes it not possible! Oh, this was tight as hell. 16-12 for Pixel. They still made their map work. Aw, this is just incredible. And so it is going to be the 1-0 for the Hungarian side. It took way too long until they finally achieved what is theirs. But in the end, coming back in a second, as we're just taking a little break till we see cash. You can still win something though. A lovely chair that is up for a grab, as well as 5 vouchers worth $100. And I wouldn't deny that. I would really love to have some of those, but in the end, this is all we're having for the moment. We'll just be right back with our next game, so stay tuned. It's going to be Pixel versus SinnerS.